The initial earthquake struck overnight on the East Anatolian fault line that runs through southern Turkey.
What happened underneath Turkey that set these deadly events in motion?
The disaster caused by the earthquake in Turkey could cause an estimated loss of up to 1% of the country's GDP.
Hello guys, and welcome to my channel. In this video we are talking about what caused the Turkey earthquake, how Turkey was affected by it, what Turkey will do now. The area of Turkey in Syria that has been hardest hit by Monday's 7.8 magnitude earthquake and its aftershocks is known for having big quakes, but it had been decades since one this large last hit. More than 5,000 people had died across the region. Here's a look at what happened, geologically speaking, and why it has caused so much damage. The Arabian Peninsula is part of a tectonic plate that is making its way north into the Eurasian plate, and the entire nation of Turkey is getting squeezed aside. Arabia has slowly been moving north and has been colliding with Turkey, and Turkey is moving out of the way to the west, says Michael Steckler of Columbia University's Lamont Doherty Earth Observatory. That tectonic shift has been behind earthquakes for millennia in the area, including one that flattened the Syrian city of Aleppo in 1138. More recent quakes, such as the 1999 one that struck the city of Izmir, have killed many thousands. This was a strike-slip earthquake. This earthquake occurred because two pieces of the earth are sliding horizontally past each other, Steckler says. It's the same kind of quake that occurs along the San Andreas Fault in California. In this case, the Arabian plate is sliding past the Anatolian plate. That sliding motion also meant the shaking was spread out for many kilometers along the fault, says Bullitt. The affected area is quite large, he says. 10 cities were structurally affected in Turkey. Turkey has seismic codes to try to prevent buildings from collapsing. But Bullitt says, because this region has escaped a major quake for decades, it's possible that some older buildings are vulnerable. Sometimes there are very old things, built before the rules existed, he says. The U.S. Geological Survey has already recorded more than 100 aftershocks in the region, and experts expect they will continue for some time. How much Turkey was affected by the earthquake? More than 3,700 people across a swath of Turkey and northwest Syria on Monday, with freezing winter weather adding to the plight of the thousands left injured or homeless and hampering efforts to find survivors. The magnitude 7.8 quake brought down whole apartment blocks in Turkish cities and piled more devastation on millions of Syrians displaced by years of war. It struck before sunrise in harsh weather and was followed in the early afternoon by another large quake. The earthquake was the biggest recorded worldwide by the U.S. Geological Survey since a tremor in the remote South Atlantic in August 2021. In Turkey, the death toll stood at 2,316. The Disaster and Emergency Management Authority, AFAD, said, making it the country's deadliest earthquake since a tremor of similar magnitude in 1999 devastated the heavily populated eastern Marmara Sea region near Istanbul, killing more than 17,000. Poor internet connections and damaged roads between some of the worst-hit cities in Turkey's south, homes to millions of people, hindered efforts to assess and address the impact. Temperatures in some areas were expected to fall to near freezing overnight, worsening conditions for people trapped under rubble or left homeless. Rain fell on Monday after snowstorms swept the country at the weekend. More than 13,000 people were injured in Turkey from the quake. In the Turkish city of Iskenderun, rescuers climbed an enormous pile of debris that was once part of a state hospital's intensive care unit in search of survivors. Health workers did what they could to tend to the new rush of injured patients. Many of the collapsed structures are 8 to 10-story apartment buildings that are common in the city. On many blocks, only a few buildings remain. Freezing temperatures have made rescue efforts more difficult and have increased the urgency to find those still missing. Central Maraş, where much of the destruction happened, was densely populated with apartment buildings, often with retail stores and restaurants on the ground level. What Turkey can do now? The government of Turkey can do several things to prepare for earthquakes, such as ensuring building safety standards. Many buildings in Turkey are not built to withstand the shaking of an earthquake. The government can pass legislation that requires buildings to be built with seismic-proof materials to ensure the safety of citizens. Additionally, the government can create public awareness campaigns to educate citizens on how to prepare for earthquakes. This includes tips on how to stockpile supplies, construct secure shelters, and develop an emergency plan. Before we continue our video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for more interesting videos. Let's start the video again. In addition to preventative measures, Turkey can also invest in new technologies to detect and predict earthquakes. Although earthquakes cannot be prevented, they can be predicted with some degree of accuracy, in order to give citizens time to evacuate before the tremors start. In conclusion, earthquakes are a natural part of life, but they can also cause significant destruction and loss of life. Turkey can take proactive steps to ensure the safety of its citizens, such as requiring seismic-proof building standards, creating public awareness campaigns, and investing in new technologies. Lessons from Japan, California. The non-implementation of the revised disaster plan reflects the gap between knowledge and action in managing Turkey's seismic risk. It is not possible to stop the earthquakes, but it is possible to construct buildings that do not collapse and kill their residents on a massive scale, as both Japan and California have managed to do. Turkey has designed and approved building codes that are the equivalent of the rigorous codes implemented in seismically challenged California. And there are approximately 150,000 civil engineers in Turkey who have the knowledge and skills to construct buildings, roads, and dams that may suffer strain from seismic events but not fail. But the cost of upgrading existing subpar buildings causes the effort to proceed at a glacially slow pace. While the building design regulation introduced in 2000 is implemented well in major cities, its state-of-the-art requirements are poorly understood by engineers in the rest of the country. Thanks for watching. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you liked it, and share it with your friends. For more informative videos on topics like this, check out the rest of our channel.